Welcome to Booklore Podcast. We are so happy to have you back with us.
Yes.
Sarah is going to tell you all the things that I can never remember to say.
We are Booklore Podcast, the podcast where we explore the literary universe one episode at a time. Just a reminder to find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and on the Fable app. We're at Booklore Podcast on IG, and everything is linked there. So make sure that you follow along with us and engage with us, because here at Booklore, we want to make a community of book lovers and readers.
We do, and writers.
Yes.
I have to.
I always forget that one.
Yeah, I like writers.
Yes, you do. I do too.
I don't know if you do.
If you're a writer, I
Doesn't
love
sound
you.
like
I
you
love you
do.
too. I love you too.
Okay, cool.
I love all.
So why Fable? Like, what's up? I mean,
So on the Fable app, we have something called Booklore Readers Society, and that is our virtual book club.
Yeah.
So once a month, we read a book all together. We comment, we talk about it, and Fable is really cool because you can comment through the chapters. So
Yeah.
you're reading our current book, which is...
The Third Wife of Faraday House.
That's right. And if you are reading maybe, let's say, chapter 12, and something sticks out to you in chapter 12, you scroll down, you click chapter 12, and you can write your comment in there.
OMG,
And then
did
other
not see
people
that
will
coming.
interact with you and be like, oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we want to really try and make and build community. And so that's the way we could do it on the Fable app.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So last week we talked about Akatar, book number 1. So if you
Correct.
missed that one,
Go
just
back
go
and
and
listen.
check that one out.
Yep.
But today we're gonna have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
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 So
We like to have fun here.
Well, yes, I do.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sure.
I don't.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
No, actually,
gonna
you
find out.
probably have more fun than me.
I don't think so.
Look at my beard; it's got stress in it.
No.
why-
That's just gray.
I know.
That's just
I think I got there.
life, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Life was lifing.
Exactly. Okay. Enough about me. We are going to talk today about unpopular book opinions.
Yes. So fun.
Yeah? And I know you got lots of opinions.
I'm full of them.
I don't agree with all of them.
Nope.
Actually, we disagree on lots of things.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
That's
Like
okay.
the first one.
Yes.
Can you think what the first one is?
First one
Yeah.
is, what do you prefer more in a book? A hardcover or paperback? So what's yours?
Right, let's do it on 1, 2, 3.
Paperback.
Hardcover.
I love a paperback. It feels more cozy. It feels more relaxing. It feels like I'm really I'm holding on to the book and I'm getting into it. You know?
Yeah, it's like you're melding with the book.
Yeah. Me and the book, one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
love it.
I don't, because they just become trash piles.
What?
They get all bent and creased. and-
Trash piles. Look
Yeah.
at my books.
Yeah, yours are
Don't
actually-
you
your-
dare
your
look at them
guys
and
are-
call
yours
them
are
trash
actually-
piles.
I see a couple that are a little wonky.
Squeeze me.
But listen, they get so bent funny and creased.
Sometimes they
and-
do when you read them,
and
they
that
do
makes me
bend.
bonkers. Which is like, I hate dust jackets. I
Okay.
hate them.
So you
It's
quite
like- it's like-
literally just want a hardcover.
Yeah, it's like a hardcover trying to go back and be a softcover. Stop doing that. I don't want your lousy, flimsy paper that's just going to rip and make my book look like trash. I want my book to be perfect forever.
But what about the nice limited edition dust jackets that they have on some books?
I don't know what those ones are. Can you
They're
show me one?
I don't think I
No,
have one
'cause you
on
only
this.
have-
I don't have one on this shelf.
Like what? Give me an example.
So it's like if if we were in Akatar
Mhm.
and they made a special edition dust jacket, so it was the same cover but something was special about it. They put a different element on there. I'm not selling this.
I don't care.
You don't care about the dust jackets at all.
No.
But
Usually I would take
that's
them.
part of the book.
Usually I would take them
I'm
off.
devastated.
No. Usually I would take them off, and
Yeah.
it sucks because nobody
You
cares.
put them back on?
Of course I do, because nobody cares about the underside. I prefer it when the hard cover actually is the thing.
Oh, it's painted on.
Yeah.
It's
etched
stamped on
in
there,
or
yeah.
whatever the case. That's what I would prefer by far,
Huh.
because all the rest of it gets ripped and torn, and I like my stuff just so. and I think
just
that
so it
all-
doesn't get bendy.
and torn up and tattered and all that.
Right.
And I feel like hardcover.
But what are you doing with your books
Listen,
that they're
I
getting
feel like
ripped up?
Everybody has books that are torn up and tattered. Come on, give me a break.
Not torn up. That feels
well, like on the edges,
disrespectful.
on a cover, they get like
a little bit bent.
and
That's
frayed.
not torn up.
And yes, they
Torn
are.
up, I'm thinking half the thing is missing. Half the cover.
They're torn that and then you get the little and you only know that if you see it on
You see the
YouTube.
video, yeah.
You get the little flippy thing on
This
the
is
bottom. Okay,
special,
listen
a
though.
special gift from us to
Listen. I like my books old timey. All right.
Okay, old
I want to
man.
feel like I'm in 1897 when I'm reading a book, and so I love
Ooh.
that feeling. Like that's
Set the scene if you're in 19. What did you say?
1890,
1890.
Let's go to the 1700s because
Okay,
then
if you're in the 1700s,
yeah, I'm by
and
candlelight.
What are you? Yeah, give us an
and I've
image
got
here.
and I've
Paint
got
the picture.
I'm sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
It's big. It's mahogany, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my fountain pen.
Of course you do.
Yes, I
the
do,
ink.
and my inkwell, right, and my wax seals that I
Yep.
will melt to make my letters.
Nice.
For
Who are you writing
people?
letters to?
Government.
Oh, okay.
Shannon, my love letters to
yeah,
Shannon.
it's a love letter to Shannon.
Yeah.
The
That's what I'm doing.
government. The
So
government ain't reading your letters.
You don't know that.
Anyways, you're a hardcover kind of guy.
I love hardcovers.
Okay, interesting. I'm not opposed to a hardcover, but it
Sounds like you are.
feels wrong when I'm reading. Like it's too difficult.
I can
It's
understand
not
that
as
actually.
comfortable.
I
yeah.
can understand that actually.
On a shelf, the hardcovers look excellent for sure. But yeah.
I just like them.
Okay.
And it's like with the kids' book especially. A
Yeah, I
children's
agree
book?
with that.
I hate
with that. I like a
softcover children's
hardcover
books.
on the. I agree with that.
And I read a lot of children's books, so.
Favorite kind of book.
Yeah, okay, so we kind of we disagree there.
Yep.
But we can agree to disagree because your reasons are valid. I understand that
Thank you.
You're to me
I feel
you're
validated.
sitting there with a nice tea and like a
Yes.
blanket and
Yes.
you're cozied up on a porch outside in autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Montana.
In
looking,
Montana.
Looking at the pasture. Just cozy. Fairy lights are hanging.
I'm from
Hopefully
Saskatchewan.
there's like a cute cowboy on the other side over there, you know?
yeah, I mean
That's me in
Montana
my
does have
paperback.
mountains in part of it, so
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't know that. You're
I-
literally
Montana?
thinking
No,
of the
I didn't know
Saskatchewan
that.
part.
Wait,
You were thinking of the pasture. You were thinking of the fields.
in Montana?
Yeah.
No, because I watched Yellowstone. And so there's the mountains in there. So
Oh,
I did
okay.
know that.
Oh,
So take that.
yeah, but that's not. I'm saying you were imagining. I didn't say you didn't know that there was mountains.
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
you were imagining the pastures.
You are correct. I
Okay.
did say that.
Anyways,
Okay, give us another unpopular opinion.
Oh,
Hit
books
me.
are still good if the endings suck.
Yes, I agree.
I don't. If the okay, wait. I don't know if I said that right.
Is the book still good if
the ending sucks, no.
The book is not still good.
No. You don't get to write part of a good book and then call the
So-
book good.
Is it if you personally don't like how the book ended?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
It's still a bad book.
I can't say because you didn't like the end of the book. It's a good,
Right,
like,
yeah,
I can only
yeah.
speak for me, but
That's not what I meant, really, per se.
okay. So, like, say generally,
Okay, what
because
if
I've run into this where I've said to people,
Yeah.
I didn't like it because the ending was
Yeah.
just atrocious, and they go, that's fine. It's still a good book. No,
Right.
no, it's not.
So you're telling me
Would you like a book if the beginning was trash?
the beginning?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so would you like a book if the middle was just garbage?
I would power through probably.
And you'd like the book?
Probably.
It's still a good book.
Probably.
The whole middle is garbage.
I would power through it because I've
I feel
already
like
read
you're
the
being
beginning.
obtuse right now. I mean, I
No,
feel like you're
okay.
being defiant.
All right, picture this. Picture this.
Yeah.
You're reading Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yeah.
You are enamored. You're loving it, as you've already stated on this podcast. You love that book. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're reading it. You love it. It's so good. The last 2 chapters, you're like, what the actual heck is happening? This is a no.
Yeah.
You're going to close that book and be like, hate it.
Yeah. Of course.
But what about
Doesn't mean she's a bad.
But what
doesn't mean
about
that
all the other things that you enjoyed? All the other really great
they were
parts that you
ruined
loved.
by the terrible finish?
Okay. So what I'm hearing is
So and it's not necessarily
graceful.
so. Like for me, I'm okay with wrestling with an ending.
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just because my emotions around it are not what I like to feel in the
Right.
moment, that's not what I would decide to. That I wouldn't make my decision on that
Okay.
for a good or bad ending. But if an ending is lazy, if an ending like literally makes no sense,
Yeah.
if an ending is just like strictly for shock value and no other reason,
Yeah.
those kind of things, then I'm going, like, you just bailed on your own book. Like,
Yeah.
could you not finish strong? Like, it's
Okay, I can see that. I can understand.
it's kind of like if I was to watch figure skating and then they did awesome all the way, and at the end they just like, I don't know.
What are you going to say? They fell?
No, they like decided that they were gonna or no, they decided to do a little tap dance jig, I would probably be like, that was trash.
But what about all the other amazing skating that they just did right before it? It's
It
like
was
all out
ruined by
Okay.
the ending.
I won't change your mind here.
Of course not. Of course not.
Just checking.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe the skating wasn't a great analogy, but like,
no,
it's a story.
Scott
It's a
and
story
Tessa
from start to
Virtue?
beginning, right?
Yeah.
What do they have to do with
Because
anything?
you're figure skating, so I'm thinking like if I was like just rooting for them the whole time, and then they
I know,
just
but you
did a
gave
little
it. You sent them at me like they were an answer to something.
Yeah, they are the answer, and the answer is we love them. They are Canadian treasures.
Yeah,
That's the answer to that.
Yeah, but they also don't do a jig at the end, so it's fine.
No one should do a jig at the end of
I
anything.
know nobody
ever.
should. That was a terrible. That was a terrible comparison.
Jig.
So
You're jigging with
in
it.
a story, though, it's the
no
whole
jiggy
thing.
stories.
It's the whole
Yeah.
thing. Like you're responsible for the
I
whole
get
thing.
that. Yeah, I see it differently. I guess where I will just like power through. If I really hated the ending, I'll be like, oh man, that kind of sucks. But I still like the book because of all the other elements to it or whatever. So
I just to me that
disagree.
gives an excuse to be lazy. Like it just.
But it might not necessarily be lazy because the rest of the book
it
is
gives
good.
an excuse to the book. Like, oh, that sucks. So at least I would take it from say a 4.5 down to a 3.5 if the ending is trash.
Okay, that is reasonable. I can get on board with that. Okay, so what about DNFing? Like, do not finish book. Will you read a book and then DNF it, or will you power through?
Yeah. So I mean, you know this, and I don't know if you remember it. I DNF'd the book 99% of the way into it.
Rob.
And wait a sec.
Can't
Let
fathom.
me add to that. It was a 1,000-page book.
I can't fathom 1% of the book left.
Yeah, maybe like
1,000-page
I was like
journey.
960 pages in.
Treacherous journey.
It was
of a
Octavia
thick
E.
book.
Butler too.
What is that book?
Xenogenesis.
What the heck is that about?
I don't remember. It was about aliens and Uloi and.
Oh my gosh!
It's
You lost
Octavia
me
E.
at it.
Butler. Like,
But you lost me at aliens.
it's Octavia E. Butler.
I
though.
can't do anything with aliens. Extraterrestrials?
Octavia E. Butler's a big deal.
No. That's
she
okay.
is.
So I can't believe you DNF'd a book at 99.9%. That's
Yeah.
criminal.
Meh.
Straight to jail.
I actually like it now because it's like this fun story that I have that I DNF'd a book. Like,
you
it's better to have that than to have read the book.
you are so unserious. I can't.
Would you get that though?
I
Like now I've
can't.
got this fun story where
No,
I
I
just DNF'd
don't because
a
I'd be
book.
like, I need to finish. That's like TV shows. So if you love this is what it's like to me.
Mhm.
If you are watching a TV show like that you love, like you just watched Peaky Blinders and you
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that show too. It's like watching the entire series and then being like, I'm not watching the last episode. That's it. That's not a
well,
fun little story.
I
That's a
don't
horror
know.
story.
Maybe I didn't love the story. I don't know.
Rob.
Obviously, I didn't love it. I
That's
DNF'd it with
crazy.
like a few pages left.
But why didn't you DNF it earlier then?
I don't know.
Because you got problems. That's why. If I DNF a book,
DNF.
if I
is
DNF a
not one of
book,
them.
it's only like if I've read half of it, I won't DNF. I'll be like, I have to power through because I just wasted half my time doing all this.
Oh gosh, no. Why would I waste more time?
Well, we know that you won't.
Why
We
would
know
I waste
that.
more time? Like if
Because
I'm like
I have-
out, if I'm
then-
out in my heart, I've got now I've got to give another 4 hours to this
Yeah.
thing. No,
The only time I've really DNF'd is I absolutely can't get
I don't
into
think you're
it. Then I
busy.
can't. I think you have too much time on your hands,
I'm
ma'am.
just saying, like
No.
4 hours is
I'll power
so
through.
important.
If I'm halfway through a book that's like 300, 400 pages, I just got a couple hours left. So I'll just finish it.
You read 300-400 pages in a couple hours.
I can sometimes
yeah,
read.
you're no. I'm not,
I can read one book in a day
yeah,
if
sure.
it's like 300-400 pages. So yeah,
Yeah.
a couple. If I read half of that, then I just have a few more hours left, so I'll read it.
Okay, now we're changing the numbers. That's fine. Okay.
I said 300 to 400 books. If I'm halfway through, then I just have a couple more hours. That's what I said. Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
I
hit me.
wasn't really listening. Okay.
Classic.
No.
Okay, hit me with another unpopular.
I just gave the last one.
All right. Here's my unpopular opinion. Are you ready? Lean in.
You're so
Lean-
serious now.
I am. Lean in.
No, I know where this
Lean
is
in
going.
and listen closely.
Uh,
I will never love a main character that is a man who is blonde. Never. And if I do, I'm sick. Something is wrong with me, and you must check on me.
That's crazy.
It's not, though. You know
I don't
why?
generalize women characters like that.
Maybe you should. I have no problem with you doing that.
Yeah, no,
there's just something about a grown-up man who's blonde. I don't trust you. I don't believe...
You just lost all the blonde male fans that ever would... I mean, they're probably not out there, but...
Good, because I didn't trust you anyways. Just kidding. In a book. Okay?
Yeah, just in a book, guys.
There's a time and a place, a very specific time and a place. If we're in fantasy, you can give me like a long-haired blonde man in fantasy because you're an elf.
Because you're thinking of Legolas. Yeah.
Absolutely. If I'm watching The Witcher and it's Henry Cavill and you're blonde.
Doesn't he have white hair?
Fine. Yeah, but that's like white blonde. So I kind of lump them in.
Okay.
Those are the only...
So I've got a blonde beard.
Respectable. That's it. I'm talking about fiction, okay? Fictional men.
Yes. Okay.
Fictional blonde men.
So you don't trust blonde men in books, but in real life, you trust blonde men.
Well.
I mean, I feel like you're getting in a lot of trouble here, so maybe we'll just let that go. I have no...
There's specific blonde men I have trust
no
for
feelings about the hair color of men in books.
I'd be concerned if you did, really. But...
you know what, though? I feel like a lot of people actually agree with you.
You know why? It just isn't right. It just isn't
right. Okay, but why?
Because they need to be tall. They need to be dark featured. They need to have long, dark hair. That's why. It's just, and you know what? It's my preference, and that's my book opinion.
That's not a book opinion.
It is my book opinion. My book opinion is if you're blonde and male,
that's
scram.
your preference for men.
But in books, here's the thing.
All you did was take your preference for men and put it into books.
No, listen, Linda, listen. For example, I was reading a book called Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Yeah. We love Elsie Silver. Canadian queen. She writes a cowboy romance, small town romance like no other. Elsie, if you're listening to this, I love you. Wake up, because this is important. I was reading Wild Eyes a few days ago.
Oh no!
And the main character is blonde. I said, no, you're brunette now. And in my mind, I made him brunette because I just can't do it. It was.
Okay, so like I have a problem with endings.
I said,
you have a problem with blondes.
You're a brunette now.
That's crazy. So like, if it's a blonde,
sounds same to me.
Is that a DNF reason? If
be.
If you couldn't get it out of your head?
Could be.
Yeah. I can't finish this book.
No, I can't do it.
And so it's
you will never make me love you.
It's like a bad ending to you.
Yes.
Like my bad endings.
It's a bad beginning.
Makes me go, oh, this book.
It's a bad beginning. It's like, it's giving Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell is like this actor. He's everywhere.
Shannon.
He was like in Twisters.
Oh, that guy.
He was in Scream Queen.
Okay, but the difference with that guy, listen. That guy looks like he should be in B movies. Like he looks like a Hallmark actor. No offense, Glenn, if you're watching the show, love you, buddy. But he doesn't look like your typical sort of
Hollywood is really trying
A-lister.
to like shove him onto me. And I said, get away.
I do want to watch that one anyways, let's stop talking about Glenn Powell. I don't know.
I did like him in Hidden Figures, but other than that, I'm like, stop trying to make him my love interest. Stop. Stop. And he was in that movie with Sydney Sweeney. Not good.
Yeah.
Anyone But You.
Was because he was so blonde in it?
Good. It just wasn't good altogether. They don't make rom-coms like they used to. Give me Mark Ruffalo any day. Give me Mark Ruffalo. At any age. Over 18. I will take him. Just going to clarify. All right, Rob, give me another unpopular book opinion.
Well, I know that one is yours, so I can't take it either.
It's okay, you can take it.
Your unpopular book opinion?
Sure.
But I disagree with it.
Well, what is it?
Well, it's a stinker. It's a
wrong
book
thinking.
That's
a stinker?
No, your thinking is stinking.
Is this about Lord of the Rings?
Yes, it's about Lord of the Rings.
Is this a kissing book? Name that movie.
No,
Name that movie in the comments.
You seem to think Lord of the Rings is trash.
So, the book, okay? I have tried to read the book. I tried to read The Fellowship of the Ring twice. And I tried to read The Hobbit once. And every single time, I kid you not.
There are no blondes in that. Oh, wait, there's Legolas.
There is.
You're in love with him.
I accept him. I accept him. The only elf that I want on my shelf. You know what I mean? Anyways, I tried.
I am clipping
Officer,
that.
arrest me.
I need to clip that.
Officer, arrest me. I tried to read it at least 3 times. It's so boring every time. I can't get into it. Overly descriptive. Frodo this, Bilbo this, the mountain this, the Shire this.
I know, describing what they're doing. What a fool.
Let's let's get into the show. Let's get into it. Let's get the plot moving. The plot is moving at a glacial pace. Is it glacial or glacier?
Yeah,
a glacial
I don't
pace.
use the phrase, but yeah, I think glacial.
That's because you like Lord of the Rings, and I don't, and so that's why you don't use the word glacial, because
Fact.
that is the thing. I think
There's
the
people
author,
who use glacial, and there's people who read Lord of the Rings.
and yeah. Anyways, that's just mine. But you love those books.
Yeah,
So
for
tell
sure.
me what you love. Why do you love those books so much? Is it nostalgic for you? Is it just like plain great, amazing creativity, great writing? Like what is it?
Yeah, no, so it's not great writing, like, but I also put it in its proper place.
I digress.
Right? Yeah, so it was written in Hobbit? 1937?
Yeah.
It was a different world.
Your face. I wish we could zoom on into your face.
We can.
So good.
But listen, it was groundbreaking for fantasy, really. I mean,
Which I get, and you
the
know what?
way
I respect
the
that.
lore that
I
he
respect
created,
that.
the backstory, he created language for
A
it.
language, yeah.
So, but I also, I'm just going to push back on you.
Sure.
So, do you know when I found it difficult to read?
No.
When I was like 15 years old.
Are you calling me dumb?
No,
Okay.
I'm not calling you dumb. But
I don't like that but.
it's not that hard.
I'm not saying it's hard. I'm saying it's boring.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't understand it.
No, it's not that boring. Like,
way too overly descriptive to me that it was boring. Like it just took forever to get to the main point.
I mean,
it took forever to get to the main point, and I still didn't even get there.
to the main point.
Yeah.
What do you?
Like, let's go going on the quest to find the ring. Like, it was taking too long.
In which one? The Hobbit?
Fellowship.
The Fellowship of the Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to be thinking about the Hobbit more than the other one. But
I don't know why you would.
I mean, there's a lot that I can't argue with because it was written in a different time. So
Or because I'm right.
no, I mean,
You hesitated. I'm taking it as a
depends
win.
on what your final statement is
No,
on Lord
yeah.
of the Rings.
So, Lord of the Rings, I only watched the movies because the books were too boring. And so I love the story.
Yeah.
Like I love the story.
Yeah.
I love the quest that they went on. Like I love the characters even.
Yeah.
Except Frodo's a little whiny sometimes. But
Yeah.
like
Samwise is the hero.
Samwise is the hero for
Yeah.
sure. Like for sure. The books I just didn't get into. And maybe I should try to
No, but
read
what's
them
your
again,
final
but
statement on them? Because then
my
I'll see if I
final-
agree
on the
or
books?
just on the books. Yeah.
Boring.
You just find the books boring?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to agree with you, but I can understand why you would think that. Depending on what you read
I accept
first.
that.
Like, and if you read C.S. Lewis first, it was much more palatable.
Yeah. And I definitely did read C.S. Lewis first.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
I think that the reason I actually love all fairness, I
Yeah.
think J.R.R. Tolkien's by far a more brilliant world builder than C.S. Lewis.
Right.
And C.S. Lewis is allegory, so he's
Yeah.
honestly taking what already exists in our.
And
So
creating a
I'll
story.
say it's mythology, but it's like the Christian history, right? And
Yeah.
to call it mythology only, I'm using that as like our history of.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's what they believe, obviously. And
Yep.
I'd be one of those people.
Yep.
But so it comes from that, and so it's directly taken from that in a lot of ways. So there's just a lot of crossover
Yeah.
there.
Whereas
Now,
Tolkien created a whole.
he
new
created a
thing.
lot.
Yes,
He actually
100%.
unintentionally does a lot of allegory, but he's not a fan of allegory.
Mhm.
So
Interesting.
he did a lot more. He created
And
a
I get that.
crazy world.
I see that and like respect that. So
Yeah, I could
it's
completely
just,
understand
you know,
where you
it's
would.
just a little
I can
boring.
understand because when I was 15, I was like,
I did read this.
I
in my
remember
20s.
describing it to somebody like, I think he's describing the rock on the pathway, right?
I know.
Yeah. So like, I want to get my chest all puffed up but
But you
you
can't.
ain't speaking total bull.
Thank you.
That hurts. I love JR. And when I read it,
Yeah,
when I
and
read
I'm
it
not
later,
saying
when I read it
he's-
later,
Yeah.
I loved it. like a lot more.
Maybe I'll try again, you know?
No, I don't want you to.
Okay. All right. Some fan you are.
We'll get you out of the romance realm first. Get you to like something outside the romance realm, and
I
then
do like things outside of the romance.
You said you didn't. You
I
literally said it has to
do.
have romance.
I would like there.
Producer lady.
I would like there to be romance. Yeah. Is there no romance at all in Lord of the Ring books?
You're saying.
But what about Aragorn and that girl?
Yeah, but there's not the kind of romance that.
Well, I don't need that.
You read
that level.
You read cowboys and. Anyways, okay.
Love a cowboy.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe a fantasy book without strong romance first, and then go back to romance. There is love.
See?
Yeah.
All I need is love. All I need is love.
That's all you need. Okay. So yeah, no.
Yeah. What else you got? Any other unpopular?
Well, I'd have to go look at my
opinions?
computer, and I feel like that's weird.
No.
And we have like 5 minutes left here, so. Let's do this real quick, sort of at the end.
Okay.
What are some tropes that you're just sick of?
Okay. I hate a third act breakup for stupid reasons like miscommunication.
So like the ending?
Just like a third act breakup. I just hate it. And then they come together at the last second. And you're just like, all this could have been avoided
at the
with
airport?
Communication. Like literally. Yeah, literally.
It's like every rom-com.
Anyways, I hate that.
Yeah.
I do not like in a romance book, like an accidental pregnancy, like surprise, I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that. What other tropes don't I like? I don't love too much like the damsel in distress, like overly. Like
when's the last time you really read anything like that?
Always needs to be rescued and da 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 da. There's books out there, my friend. I've definitely. read
nothing that's popular.
Well.
I mean, nothing that's like been so popular as to be turned into a movie.
Yeah, those are just like the tropes that I hate that I could think of off the top of my head. You?
Yeah. I don't like passive characters. So by that I mean characters who just continuously have things happen to them.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they're just wandering through life and then boom.
And everything happens. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I can't handle that.
Yeah.
I kind of am tired of the trope of the female heroine who is every female heroine now in every story almost, who's like this fearless, misunderstood. And even in like what I was writing, I was starting to write that on some level. And it's like, there's more dynamics in women than just this one sort of, On the other hand, it helps you to root for them. So I get that.
Yeah. But you can build up to that too.
Or
like,
there's got to be
away.
other personality flaws and or just unique characteristics that could be explored maybe.
Yeah.
I don't fully know what that is. Like almost like maybe I'd like to see what would normally be thought of as a secondary character be the actual hero, right? Like
I like that.
Yeah, and in a sense I guess Samwise Gamgee was
twist.
like that.
Yeah.
But you don't.
It's like a little plot, keep them on the toes.
Well, but just maybe her character is like the quiet one who is spoken over, and like I don't know. Usually they're just naturally tough.
Yeah,
actually,
like I'm gonna do this, and then yeah,
right. So maybe a bit of that.
Yeah.
A little tired of the guy who's actually bad. The guy who is bad but isn't.
Oh,
being so Resand.
I love
like
that.
that trope is a little.
I'll never get tired of that.
A little.
Eat it up every time.
A little obvious, or maybe actually, maybe it's not so much that as the other side of it. The nice guy who ends up being an actual like Tamlin.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of a character is just like boring.
Yeah.
But
okay.
All of mine have to do with kind of characters, really.
Yeah. Mine, not so much.
So that's that. Yours did a bit.
I guess a little bit.
The trope of a blonde man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, tired of that. Get rid of that immediately. Throw it out the window.
Yeah.
I will say a book opinion that I have, which I don't know if it's controversial, but like a romance book does not need to be more than 300 pages. There's a very popular like series, and they're like 800, 900 pages. And I said, who has time for that? But that's like fantasy in there. It's not strictly romance. I'm talking about strictly romance.
Okay.
Strictly romance, where I'm like, we don't need this to be 800 pages, babe. Calm down. let's get 300 in and out. Had a great time. Yes, a little rom-com. Here for it. Good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. It does not need to be thick.
And
I'll
soda
tell you.
pop and yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Those are my controversial
I think there's
opinions.
many books that don't need to be that long.
True.
Including ACOTAR. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're long, man.
Yeah, the second one especially was like.
I read half of that in a day, and I was just like,
your brain, brain fog. Yeah,
that's a lot of.
Those are my
that's a lot of
unpopular opinions. We want you to share yours, so comment down
below.
Yeah. Let us know on Instagram. We'll post some clips. So let us know what your controversial book opinions are. Okay,
Absolutely.
Just a reminder that we are still reading our book club pick on the Fable app. So go ahead and find us there, Booklore Readers Society. And then are we discussing that? Yeah, we're talking about next week. That's right. So you have 1 week.
The third wife of Faraday House.
Beautiful.
Or is it House Faraday?
No, Faraday House. It's Faraday House. Yeah. So you have a week to like catch up with us. And so you want to read that.
You can get it done in a week if you
thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah. And remember to follow us on the Fable app too, because we want to connect with you there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. We'll see you next week for book club on the episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See you later. I love you.